Yes, lovely people, welcome back to Jacobism. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to play the game of university in the UK. As of June last year, I graduated from the University of Warwick studying politics and international studies. I joined in September 2019, possibly the worst time to go since COVID struck towards the end of my first year. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I wish I knew before going and whilst I was there, all so that you can maximise your experience. Without further ado, let's do this. In this first point, I'm going to share with you some of the things that you should know before going to university. Top of the list has to be know what you want to get out of it and have a plan. My following points should make this clearer and guide you in the right direction. So unless you're incredibly rich or can get a sabbatical from your career, getting a degree is for getting a job. A business degree might help you with starting a business, but most resources you can get online for free, and experience will be a better teacher. If you wish to go into recruitment or sales upon graduating, know that these jobs are some of the highest paying jobs that you can get without a degree. Getting a degree is a stepping stone for getting a high skilled job. Next, to take a gap year or to not take a gap year. Well, if you line up a job upon leaving university and it is quite professional, know that you probably won't get another opportunity to have a year out and go Bali and take ecstasy and explore yourself. Once you are in a professional career, you are up against thousands of wannabe corporate fellatio practitioners and, though not yet, are striving to be the best in their field, and therefore, since the competition is so fierce, you are likely locked into your career until your late 30s, early 40s. Therefore, there isn't much harm in taking a gap year if you have a plan and know that you will spend it productively. I took out 2 years before going to university, and being 23 but looking 33 worked out fantastically for me in my third year. In terms of finances, if you agree to become a serf, as Student Finance England as your overlord, then the system in which you pay back your loan should be viewed as a tax as opposed to a standard debt agreement. You only pay back the loan if you earn over a certain threshold, and after 30 years, it is entirely written off. Therefore, if you never earn over the threshold, you never pay a penny, whereas if you earn loads and eventually pay it off, then your degree was clearly a good investment. There are predictions that 89% of indentured students will never pay back their loan. Do not be deterred by the idea of taking out a loan for your education. Student loans, likely our society's most culpable mechanism, has and is stifling social mobility. Next, what to study. Now, this is usually something along the lines of what you studied at A-level, but not always. Universities are traditional arenas of academia, and therefore I would strongly advise against picking a more vocational course such as film studies or golf course management. When deciding a course, understand the path that it's going to take you down thereafter. If you study a vocational course like accounting, it's limiting in terms of what you can do, but perhaps not necessarily where you can go. If you study chemistry, you wouldn't be wrong to think that you're solely limited to the scientific industry. However, since chemistry is so fucking hard and therefore respected, you can likely go into any industry thereafter. Know the future of the course that you are studying, but take it with a pinch of salt, because I think it unreasonable to expect an 18-year-old to know what they want to do for the rest of their life. Next, have a plan in regard to all the previous points, especially with the course and desired industry upon graduation. For example, if you wish to make lots of money, your best investment is likely to target the finance industry. I will come on to this shortly, but typically there are programs exclusively open to first, second and third years and are typically applied for 9 months in advance. Whatever industry you want to go into, learn of the big businesses and their respective programs. Before we end this point, we are going to address what university to go to. Generally, you want to go to the university that is highest rank and your grades allow. When I was applying, that was St Andrews. I also applied for Durham, Exeter, Bristol and Warwick. I only got offers from the last two, and thank God that neither Durham nor St Andrews said yes. As I am based in London, And St Andrews is not only 8 hours away by train, similarly with Durham, but it's also cold and Scottish, which is synonymous for fucking miserable. Despite not even going to an open day, I had a fantastic time at Warwick. It was close to London, the Midlands are beautiful, the corporate fellatio practitioner culture was strong, and to my surprise, it was full of European women. Therefore, when picking a university, don't always just go for the best and realise that there really are more important factors such as the extracurricular presence, if they're targeted by employers, and how close it is to your home, but most importantly, the international community. Now in this second point, I'm going to share with you what you should know about university when you're there. Top of the list has to be have fun. You are there to have fun as much as you are there for the future career prospects. Go out clubbing at least a couple times a week. Spunk your student loan on clothes and live on pot noodle until the next maintenance payment. Go get involved in sports and societies and especially the alcohol-fueled events. But there does come a point where you should regulate your hedonism with breaks from drinking, actually eating good food, and perhaps occasionally even using Durex's products. Boring. University is a time for unprecedented fun, and those that never went wish they did, and those who did often claim it to be the best time of their lives. Make the most of it. Once you overcome the novelty of first arriving, realise that there will rarely be another time in your life where you will have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want, when you want. Therefore, use it productively. If you are watching this and are of university age, I know you might not have heard of this word, but be disciplined. What? How do you even spell that? Use the time to learn how to cook and eat well. Make use of the gyms, likely to be the best and cheapest you will ever have access to. Read a lot and engage in activities and experience that you might have otherwise dismissed prior to going. Despite it being far more enjoyable to encourage excessive drinking, boundless hedonism and campaigns of sexual conquest, we can't forget that trivial aspect of actually studying. I want you to know that whilst, of course, it would be great to get a first, it doesn't really matter. If you are doing an academic course, not only is it hard to attain a first, but is likely devoid of those previous joys I just described. Therefore, realise a 2-1 is good enough and do, frankly, as little work as possible to obtain that. Also, while you're there, do the extracurricular stuff. Remember, we are trying to get a job. Employers want to look at your CV and know that you just didn't spend your time between the library and the smoking area of the club trying to seduce European women. Ellos saben. Therefore, join societies and try to get a position. Join the ones that will benefit you in getting a job thereafter, whether that be in business, science or law, but also join the ones that you're simply interested in. Remember, you are trying to show that you have interests and did things beside the haram activities of university. Now in this third point, as promised, I'm going to share with you how to play the game lining up a high-paying job upon graduating at university. I'm specifically going to show you the game of getting a finance job, which I believe to be similar across most industries. They have different programs in different years. In first year, you can get a program called the Spring Weeks. In second year, you do a summer internship. And in third year, you join the graduate scheme. Lots of the time, if you're good in the Spring Week, they'll offer you the summer internship. And if you're good in the summer internship, they'll offer you the grad scheme. Of course, this is the exception to the rule because most people will get rejected as they are massively oversubscribed. Something like 1%, if that, get accepted onto these roles because they hire on a rolling basis, which means they hire as the applications come in. You could be the best candidate for the role, but if you're applying more than 6 weeks after the job posting, you can forget about it because they would have had thousands of applications by that point. It's also a numbers game. You should apply for about 30 postings on the day that they get posted, as you will have to do 3 more tests and probably a couple more interviews, and therefore will experience a lot of rejection. To further my point regarding good grades being unnecessary, nearly all of these job postings require a minimum of a 2-1. Therefore, if you're clued up and you've been listening, you will now realise that these spring weeks will be posted before you get to university. So you've got to be on it before you even know that you have to be on it. And now I'm going to give you an example of how my ex played the game. She always knew that she wanted to go into finance, and so she made the applications before going and secured a spring week. COVID hit, so it was effectively cancelled, and somehow she managed to get offered the summer internship. When the 2021 summer internship came around, working from home was still in full force, and she was effectively given fuck all work for 8 weeks and somehow managed to impress them through her webcam and was offered the grad scheme. She came out of university with a serious job at one of the big 4 accountancy firms, and all in all, she made about 6 applications for jobs in her time at university and didn't stress once. You are not rewarded for hard work, but your ability to game the system and be better than the other players. And now it is time to end, lovely people. I hope that this video has shown you how to make the most of your experience at university. First and foremost, it's about having fun and being a degenerate. But secondly, there is a game to play, but only for those most on job. Thank you all for watching. I wish you the best on your journeys. And if you want some more voluptuous and curvaceous, juicy content, then hit that big fat red fucking button.